Here we go. We are live. Today is a big day. It's the finals of Mount Battle 4 Draft League. Let's go. This is hype. Okay. Gonna share this link. Right. Let me share it in some more discords. Okay. Alright. Got one viewer. Where are all the people? Aren't they hyped for this? Sound is good? Yeah? You're the viewer. Huh? Oh yeah, I will mute Discord, yes. How do I mute Discord? Huh. Okay. Alright. Hello Yuki. Wait. Can't hear you. 1 second. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. 1 second. I just muted Discord, but now I should be able to hear you.
Can you hear me now, yeah?
Yes, I can hear you. Alright.
Perfect.
Awesome. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Home pretty much just in time for this game, so I'm happy.
Awesome.
Luckily, Teamcap has given us a little bit of extra time to prepare.
Yes, yes. Let's see if Mosquito is gonna join, but we can also, I mean, I don't know, do you think the pre-match analysis, like, I don't know if I should be allowed to hear what your thoughts are on, like, the matchup and all that?
It may be a little bit of a conflict of
Yeah.
interest.
Then I'm gonna mute my computer. The audience should be able to hear you. I have
Yep.
both drafts on the screen right now, so I'm just gonna put on
Yep.
a little bit of background music, and then I don't chat. Let us know if the audio is fine. Pokemon XD theme of suspense.
Are we not going with Colosseum Finals?
Yeah, we're gonna do that during the battle.
During
Before
the
the battle,
battle, okay.
let's put on the theme of suspense. I really like this theme.
See.
That's too loud. And there's Mosquito. How are you doing?
There is Mosquito.
We're just waiting for Teamcap, correct?
Yes.
That would be correct.
Alright, if chat could let us know how the audio sounds. You guys say something.
Hi, everybody.
Nnico Iosi's Mount Battle Ford Draft League Grand Finals.
Grand Finals.
Is the music okay like this, or is it still too loud? We're just doing some audio adjustments. You can't hear me? The music is too loud. Okay,
You may be a little bit loud here.
Yeah, I think the music is too loud. I have it on my desktop.
That's too much suspense, Nnico.
A little higher.
You mean now it's too low? It's okay? Can you hear it? The music? Okay. Alright.
Music should be fine now.
The voices are low. My voice or their voices? My voice. My voice is low. Oh, we had this problem last time. My voice was really low for some reason, but I have my audio on max. Let me see. See what I can do. I don't know. Maybe this would be better. Am I louder now? Can you hear me better now? No? Well, let me know in 5 seconds.
I think you're a little bit louder now. Sounds
Yep.
a little bit better.
Sounds better, I think.
Does it sound better to you, my assistant? Yeah? Can you hear me? Yeah. But am I loud enough? Can you... And the music is not too much, it's fine. Still a bit loud. Okay. How much can I move this cursor? Okay, now I think I made it even lower, the volume. Yeah, we had this problem last time that somehow my volume was really low compared to U2's volume. Yours two's, I don't know how to say that. But hopefully this works. I'm also just gonna like blast my voice into the mic to amplify my volume. Yeah, I think that should work. Last check, how does it sound? Music is still really loud. Really? Still now? I just lowered it. Oh man. Okay, well. Can't really have a stream without music though. Let me think. Is there like some way to have advanced audio settings for YouTube? Do you guys know that?
I don't use YouTube live enough for that.
Oh, okay. 1 second, I'm gonna listen myself. Okay, so I'm just gonna speak to hear myself speak. Let's see if this is loud enough. Okay, my voice is a bit low. Music is fine, says Ashley. What's up, Ashley? Yeah, but the others are a bit louder than me, right? So the others should be totally fine, right? Anyways, it's mostly about your guys' commentary, so my volume isn't quite as important.
Yeah, understood. That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Just a second. It's always a second. Man, Teamcap, he's in it for real, man.
He means business this match.
Yeah, he really
This is
means business.
big business going on here.
Dude, I'm really scared, not gonna lie. I know he's gonna throw some crazy strat at me because I know I have the matchup. I feel like it's my match to lose. And I know he has something crazy planned. Like, he's always got some kind of crazy plan to beat his opponents. He's a draft league master, so.
Well, he's proven it this season as well, making it all the way with quite an interesting team, I would say.
Yes.
Oh, very interesting. So many different Pokemon that just don't seem to work together at first, and then he just makes it work.
Yeah, exceptionally unassuming
Yes.
when the draft finished, but he's piloted this exceptionally well.
Exactly. Alright, Teamcap is about to be ready, so I'm just gonna mute my own computer. The stream should still be able to hear you, and then you guys can just go ahead and do a little bit of pre-match analysis. I have both drafts on stream, so people can see it. So yeah, I'm gonna mute myself, and the floor is yours. Muting now.
Great, thank you, Nnico. All right, so where do we start, Yuki? Do you want to start Nnico, or do you want to start with Teamcap's team?
I think
Also gonna mute
let's start
my
with
own
Nnico.
microphone. I cannot hear him
Nnico
anymore, but
then saying he
now the
probably
microphone
does
will be muted.
have the matchup advantage. I would agree.
We could still hear you, Nnico.
Hi, Nnico.
But yeah, all right. Maybe we should message Nnico. Maybe if he can't hear us, then that's good. Let's tell Nnico. Oh, actually, he's not saying anything. That's good.
Yeah.
So
That
anyway,
should be
going on with Nico's team: Raikou, Salamence, Heracross, Sableye, Vaporeon, Mr. Mime, Fortress, Dugtrio, Lunatone, and Ninjask.
Yeah, exceptionally scary team to come up against this one. Just has a million options offensively. That Raikou is just absolutely devastating if it gets up. Salamence with Dragon Dance is, again, an absolute breaker. And then even the immediate damage options like the Heracross, Choice Band on that thing just hits like an absolute truck. Same with Choice Band Dugtrio if he should bring that.
Yeah. And just many strong options to just throw out power. It seems like the game's going to be starting soon. The draft is away, but Teamcap, of course, using very interesting, Medicham, the team together, and having a third for redirection, using Golduck for its ability to go rain mode or to cancel the weather, and the Tauros as the team's main anchor. It's just and a Dusclops. It's just a very interesting mix.
It's a very strange mix of Pokemon, and the reason why I thought this wouldn't go as far as it did was just sort of that lack of immediate power. You've got the Medicham, and you've kind of got the Tauros, though it feels a little underwhelming without a Choice Band. And apart from that, the damage isn't really there immediately.
Yeah.
But Teamcap has shown he's willing to play fairly long games. We saw in the last round, we saw the Charizard with Endure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think playing a longer game with this team, with those options like the Fake Out on the Medicham, the Intimidate from Tauros, Dusclops being an absolute wall that can provide really nice support, it gives him a lot of time to get his team going into the game.
Yeah.
And when it comes alive, it takes quite a bit of resource to stop it.
Yeah. One thing that I think is interesting is Teamcap's lower tier picks. Teamcap opting to choose both of the middle evolutions for the weather boosted Hoenn Pokemon. That is Lombre and Nuzleaf. So there's even more fake out options if Teamcap wants to go for a rain mode, for example, with the Electrode, with the Golduck, with the Lombre, or Teamcap wants to go on an interesting Sun mode with Nuzleaf. It's also possible too. Obviously, these Pokemon don't have quite as much power, but the fake out plus any useful support have, such as Leech Seed, might be very useful. In addition to get a surprise.
On these sort of Electrode weather modes, having that fake out is quite vital, because you really want to force your opponent to say, hey, I have to protect this turn. And that makes it a little bit easier for Electrode to get off the field, explode, and then bring in either the Golduck or Charizard that wants to be out there.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you start trying to make the reads against that, like, well, they're just going to fake out and set a weather, you get the option to now make a different read. Exactly. So it makes the early game a little bit more complicated, and that should play into the hands of Teamcap a lot of the time, I reckon.
Yes. Like, I believe Electro just has such a scary matchup because, for one, in Generation 3, there's no Choice Scarf, so you can just adjust your speed stat just to be 1 point higher than the fastest possible Pokemon on team. In Nico's case, it's the Raikou. No, actually, sorry, it's the... Oh, Nnico has a Ninjask, I didn't even know that.
Nnico has a Ninjask that can be faster than it. There is a possibility he brings that and just says, well, HP ground, you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. But aside from like Ninjask having very low bulk and being susceptible to Intimidate, that may or may not be a choice. That may or may not be viable. But outside
I suppose
of
for
Ninjask,
Electrode, the next fastest Pokemon is the Doug Trio at 372. Yeah. Electrode does that without even having to be plus speed nature.
Yeah.
So there is a good reason to run a more bulky Electrode and then rely on the output of Tauros, Charizard, Golduck, rather than using this as your, hey, I'm going to try and beat you on turn 1 sort of Pokemon.
Exactly. Alternatively, Electrode does get with more EVs in Draft League, just knowing, like, choosing, okay, I won't try to outrun, I won't do anything against Ninjask, I'll try to outrun Doug Trio, I'll just go mixed attacker. And we have our grand finals for Mount Battle 4. Nnico Iosi using a team of Raikou, Sableye, Salamence, Vaporeon, Mr. Mime, and Heracross. On Teamcap's team, there's a Tauros, a Dusclops, Furret, an Electrode, a Golduck, and a Charizard. Yuki, what do you think about this matchup?
So, I wasn't expecting to see the Furret coming to this match. I didn't anticipate the Redirector, 2 normal types coming into the Heracross. Those are things that I think generally I wouldn't bring versus Nnico. He's shown he's very willing to spam Earthquake, Salamence, and the Choice Band Heracross, so potentially that could be a little bit awkward, but really, I think he's trying to be a bit more creative with the build because Nnico's matchup is so good here.
Yeah.
On the other side, Nnico's got the potential double fake out with Sableye, Mr. Mime, though Mr. Mime is very likely follow me in this matchup.
Most likely.
So there's a lot of time for him to get those more powerful threats going with Dragon Dance Salamence or Carmine Raikou potentially, both of which look really good into this matchup.
Yes. One thing I did notice immediately on Nnico's team is, despite having the Sableye, which pairs well with Explosion users, Nnico did not bring any of his Boom Mons. There's no Fortress, there is no Lunatone. So the team, with no boom options, Nnico's going to have to just go hard, and hit fast. Again, with that Raikou, with Calmine's Dragon Dance Salamence, the Heracross might not even be Choice Band. It might have Sword Stance. So there's three hypothetical setup Mons paired with a Fake Out user and a Follow Me Pokemon. And Teamcap's just going to have to navigate using a team that has generally lower stats than Nnico's, is going to have to finesse his way against in the matchup. I'm very excited to see that Teamcap did bring the Charizard. It's necessary to avoid an Earthquake spam game, which I think we've seen in the past.
So, where Nnico just clicks Dragon Dance, Earthquake, and KOs opponents that don't have flying types. So, Nico's asking if we're gonna start. I think we're ready, right, Yuki?
I think we're ready, yeah.
All right. And with that, we've got the grand finals of Mount Battle 4, our annual draft league between Nnico and Teamcap. We're just waiting for both players to select their Pokemon, and we will be good to go. Also, I should say yes, because Nnico can't hear us.
So I think for this matchup, it's going to be very interesting to see how Teamcap takes this lead. Because, as we discussed, there's not really much immediate power on Teamcap's team here.
Yes.
Whereas Nnico can just throw damage from turn 1.
Mm-hmm. All right, on Nnico's side, we have Salamence Raikou, a strong core with a lot of damage output and the potential for Dragon Dance. And on Teamcap's team, we see a Charizard and a Furret, and immediately my mind goes towards Belizard. Yuki has the option to simply click Dragon Dance, Follow Me, click Substitute, and eventually get a Belly Drum and just sweep through Nnico's team with either Hidden Power Flying or Return.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad of an option here, especially as even if there is a crit into this Furret on turn 1, that Zard is going to be able to get safely behind that sub. So it looks very, very nice, this lead.
Yes, exactly. In this position, Nnico may have to be careful about clicking Dragon Dance, simply because if the Furret survives one turn, then on turn 2, it will redirect, and with Generation 3's Follow Me mechanics, even if the Furret is fainted, it's the incoming Pokemon will receive the hit. And we've got a Follow Me, a Thunderbolt, a Dragon Dance, and a Substitute with Iapapa healing that Furret. So Nnico not afraid of letting the Charizard set up quickly, just going straight for damage for boosts.
I suppose the way Nnico sees this is if this Furret does indeed go down, Salamence might now be so strong that, well, Raikou will be strong enough to hopefully take out whatever's in the back.
Possibly.
Because Thunderbolt will do good damage to Tauros still. Can never go Golduck, and I wouldn't imagine Electrode being in the back. I'd imagine Electrode is more of a lead for Teamcap based on their team. So it almost forces the Dusclops to come in.
Yeah. Assuming Teamcap has the Dusclops in the back.
Of course.
What I am interested is there is a mind game potential. Nnico has to call whether Teamcap will follow me or not. Teamcap does have the option to simply protect the one Pokemon and do something with Furret, though Furret isn't threatening. But instead just goes for the Follow Me and may be taking, and will be taking, most likely will be taking a hit from the Raikou, a discovered attack, assuming the Raikou didn't go for like a Substitute or a Calm Mind. If it's a Golduck, it would just get KO'd by Thunderbolt, and if it's a Tauros, it might take 60-70%. Teamcap probably clicking Belly Drum. We'll have to see what the out is, but with no Earthquake immune Pokemon, I am very doubtful if it's just an Earthquake. It might just have to be Belly Drum, get the Salak boost, and then hopefully win the speed tie versus the Salamence, assuming they're both max speed.
Yeah, it's sort of a little sad that it comes down to the speed tie, but I feel like that's something Nnico saw as well. If you can't stop Follow Me followed by sub Belly Drum, well, you've got to play to your best out, and the best out in this situation is let's take a speed tie. How lucky are you feeling?
Exactly. Teamcap taking quite a while to placement. Maybe Teamcap is doing some damage calculations. I wouldn't be surprised, just to make sure that depending on what their Pokemon is, maybe it's or depending on their moves, maybe it's Hidden Power or Flying. In which case, like, it may not KO the Raikou. And Nnico instead going for the Substitute, not caring to try to discover and attack what's in the back. With the Tauros switching in, that Salamence is now going to be at neutral boosted attack, and
may not necessarily be getting the KOs that is necessary. With the substitute, Nnico does have some leeway regarding Raiko getting KO'd or not, but it's looking sort of even for both players, I think.
Yeah, I think Nnico's still got a lot of good play in this situation. It's very unlikely Charizard would have Protect here. We've seen 2 support moves. It's got to have 2 attacks. And it's really narrowing down what they are. It's definitely HP Flying, and then what's the other one? If it's Earthquake, there's no way that you can probably get 2 KOs in 1 turn here.
No, not at all.
So I think there is a potential line where you just say, hey, Salamence is just going to protect this turn. We're going to get rid of that sub. Let's have a little coin toss.
Yeah. And we do
Use
have
is
hidden
not
power
to
revealed.
protect.
There's no typing, and almost certainly it's hidden power flying. It's got not only the 1-hit KO, it was not hidden power rock. It might be hidden power ghost, but I would just bet on it being hidden power flying.
I'd be pretty confident in flying, yeah.
Yeah, and notably, Teamcap got the attack first, which means Nnico either Teamcap has like a higher speed Charizard than the Salamence, or just won the speed tie. And with Thunderbolt going into the Charizard, that sub is going to get broken. But now Charizard is very much at the threat of a Fake Out, and if there is no Protect on this Charizard, Fake Out plus Thunderbolt will simply take out the Charizard with no recompense. Maybe Tauros can get a KO back on the Raikou, and then the game becomes a 2-2.
I really like that line. The danger for Teamcap here is if that is choice ban Tauros,
Yes.
and you choose to go after the Raikou, and your Charizard goes down, you are now choice banded into return versus the Sableye.
Yes.
So it gets as much time as it needs.
Over. Yeah, almost game over.
It would depend on what the last 2v2 is, of course, but it would be a fairly decent position for Nnico to be in.
Yeah. And if it does lock into Earthquake, then there's the possibility of hitting your teammate. And as we say, it's the Fake Out and Thunderbolt. Maybe Teamcap was trying to read and determine whether, and call the Fake Out bluff. Or maybe Charizard doesn't have Protect and therefore can't even reveal it. And as you said, it's now a very difficult scenario where it's the Tauros cannot hit into that Sableye, so it only has one target, which is that Vaporeon.
I mean, the damage from that return makes me think I believe this is choice banded.
I'd agree with that assessment.
So, at this point, Nnico has to be thinking, if he can take out the Dusclops, this is a done deal.
Yes.
It's just, what does he have to take it out? A Shadow Ball, Sableye, potentially. There may be a shot that there's just not enough damage to get over the line this turn. There might have to be a Protect weaved in from the Vaporeon. This might end up being a longer endgame than it looks.
Yeah. And of course, this will, already on game 1, this will come down to what moves have been chosen for these Pokemon. Not much has been revealed yet. The Sableye only revealing Fake Out, the Dusclops not even revealing moves. Is it Protect? Is it Will-O-Wisp, Nightshade? Or Seismic Toss, rather.
Yep, Seismic Toss.
And in any case, yeah, the Tauros being choice locked into return onto Vaporeon, barring a critical hit. This Tauros will not be able to KO the Vaporeon, so Vaporeon should be able to get at least one attack off, either into the Dusclops or into the Tauros, depending on what sort of endgame Nnico's looking to go for. Teamcap obviously having choose return, and we'll just have to find out what the moveset is on that Dusclops.
Yeah. Without knowing what this Sableye has, I can't really tell you which way the attacks are going to go yet.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope it's Shadow Ball. For Nnico's sake, if it is Shadow Ball, this looks pretty winnable.
This is interesting. So, Teamcap reveals the helping hand immediately, and he
it is Shadow Ball
for a one-hit KO onto that Vaporeon, but with the Shadow Ball going into the Dusclops, it's almost like Nnico now has the advantage.
I think this looks very nice for Nnico, in fact. There is nothing this Tauros can do to Sableye, and we are now seeing this Shadow Ball as a 3-hit KO into the Dusclops.
Yeah.
We would need to see Dusclops having Protect, I think, for this game to go on.
Yeah, of course. And then the Tauros would have to hit into the Vaporeon. Maybe Nnico doubles into the Dusclops. There's a Protect, and then take out the Vaporeon. Then the turn after, or rather damage the Vaporeon. And then next turn, Tauros is just threatening KO on Vaporeon, and then Teamcap can pull out a really, a stalling move, such as a Will-O-Wisp or Pain Split. Maybe even a surprise rest, and then just would have to stall it out. I don't think from Dusclops attack stat that it's really going to be able to take down Sableye traditionally using Shadow Ball, so it would have to be a stallier tactic.
Yeah, there is a really interesting idea here that if the Vaporeon goes down and we are seeing the Pain Split Dusclops, it could technically have 2 Pain Splits. It can Pain Split its own useless Tauros to try and prolong the end game a little bit, especially if we're going to see a burn. It would have to be, I think, a very specific set that would have absolutely no attacking moves for that to happen. But without seeing things revealed, we have no clue what this Dusclops is going to do.
Yeah. And we see the return without a helping hand. Dusclops probably going for some sort of attack onto the Sableye. On the Vaporeon just dealing lots of damage with that waterfall. 54.9%. This almost feels excessive.
Worth saying 54 with a Spadef drop.
Oh, my apologies. I was about to say maybe that Dusclops has very low special bulk, but that's what the
And Brick Break on Sableye will seal game 1. That will be game 1 for Nnico.
Certainly, that will be. I don't even think like a hidden power ghost or something, if it's not choice band, critical hit would be able to take it out.
Yeah.
Maybe Teamcap just trying to go for information. Did get the Brick Break reveal. At least that's sort of useful outside of the knowing that the game is lost. And
additionally, Nnico revealing Waterfall is definitely interesting. It suggests no Hydro Pump, so it may be slightly less offensive than we've seen him run this before. Maybe we're going to see some Icy Wind stuff from it later on.
Yeah, exactly. There's still 2 more movesets on that Vaporeon to reveal. One of them most likely an Ice-type move, and then it could be double Ice-type, or it could be a support move such as Wish. We will have to find out. But for now, players are going to be going into Game 2, and we'll have to decide how they'll adjust their strategies. Notably, Teamcap, I feel, revealed quite a bit of information that it's the sub that is Belizard and likely doesn't have Protect. And the Dusclops revealing the Helping Hand is going to be very interesting.
I think Nnico definitely got the better of the information this game. Belizard being revealed, Choice Band Tauros being revealed, Helping Hand Dusclops. We're getting a pretty good idea of exactly what Teamcap wants to do. Nnico's still got a couple things up in the air.
But, of course, Teamcap being the type of person to adjust, now knows that there's a Dragon Dance Salamence, that the Salamence might be slower than the Charizard, that the Raikou is sub and likely not combined, so we'll have to see where this goes. Give me a moment, I have to run an errand. I might be back soon. But
that's absolutely fine. So, time to run the commentary by myself for a little bit. Game 2's adjustment is going to be very crucial for Teamcap here. We saw Nnico in Game 1 is just able to fire off repetitive damage, just all of the early game. And in a way, Teamcap's only response to that was, I'm going to redirect, I'm going to get behind a sub, and I'm just going to hope I can play the rest of this game out. I really like Nnico's way of dealing with the Charizard, forcing the sub to go down, and then taking either the speed type of the Salamence to bring the sub down, which would then force the kill with Thunderbolt by after you take out the sub, or, as we saw, the fake out coming in and being able to take out the Zard that way, playing to an endgame where Sableye just couldn't lose. I would like to see Teamcap potentially try something a bit different with the Electrode. Weather seems to be the only way that Teamcap will have the speed advantage in this game. Raikou is too fast, DD Salamence is just going to be too fast, and with the support options, Heracross will be protected for enough turns to where it can make a big impact on the game. So just waiting for the players to select now. course, it makes sense that the players are thinking a good deal about this. This is the grand finals, of course. Alright, we're going to get game 2 underway here. Nnico leading Mr. Mime's Elements, trusty lead from this season, coming up against the White Herb Electrode and the Furret. Now, seeing White Herb on Electrode does suggest Explosion is going to be crucial for that Electrode in this set. It would make a lot of sense. We've got the Dustclops in the back, and it really seems like the biggest way to get some immediate damage straight on the board. Sableye comes in immediately for the Mr. Mime. And the immediate explosion does take out Salamence, crucially. So Salamence goes down. That's the big threat. And we see 2 support Pokemon, potentially. We've got the Sableye, which we have seen 2 attacks revealed. And we've got a Mr. Mime, which is almost certainly just going to be support. I really like the adjustment from Teamcap here. Explosion, even if it doesn't land into everything, it does get the Electrode off the field. And then you do get the option to have Charizard in and do the sub belly drum, just like in game 1. This time it comes with the upside of getting rid of one of the Pokemon in the back. Raikou's going to come in. We know Raikou does not kill the Furret, though, so Follow Me is pretty inevitable here, and I would expect just to see Charizard come behind a sub. So as expected, Follow Me, Thunderbolt does about as much as last game. Brick Break takes down the Furret, and Charizard gets into its sub. Tauros in immediately. I wouldn't be surprised just to see Tauros start spamming Earthquake here. Nnico's Earthquake immune is gone. It would render the Follow Me pretty much useless, and it gives him a lot of space to start playing around with the Belly Drum potentially. I think slightly better than that would just be to attack with Charizard at this point. It's very likely the sub is just going to go down, or there will be a Protect from Raikou anyway. So potentially you just see Earthquake and attack, or Earthquake and Belly Drum here. I think Teamcap is definitely ahead in this game. And unless Teamcap goes down 2-0, I won't be able to call him Team Clutch in this one. I think Nnico definitely having to give this turn a lot of thought. If this Tauros does lock into Earthquake with its choice band here, there is potential that the Mr. Mime switch that could happen isn't as helpful as you'd want. But at the same time, Sableye being at -1 is very bad, because you can't even with the stat being at full. Brick Break was not a 3-hit KO or a 2-hit KO into Tauros. It was a 3-hit KO. So being at -1, this Tauros is pretty much immune to what's going on here, and we're going to see the helping hand. Thunderbolt does not kill. Choice Band Earthquake does take out the Raikou, and now we've seen the full set of Sableye revealed. Belly Drum for free, and that's going to be game, I reckon. Earthquake will do enough to deal with the Sableye at this point. There's not much left to say about this game. Really nice adjustment from Teamcap. Surprised to see that Nnico didn't play as safe around the turn 1 explosion. I feel like he was giving Teamcap a lot of credit to just not explode and to do something a bit different with the game. Didn't pan out this time, but now Nnico's probably got a better idea of the read that he has to make on turn 1. Shadow Ball taking out the sub on Charizard is going to reveal a Quick Claw from Sableye. Just remember that in Gen 3, Quick Claw does not announce itself, so that's going to be really helpful information for Teamcap to get, and I think Nnico would prefer that to have not procced in this situation. More information for Teamcap is only going to help them make better adjustments into the next couple of games. I'm going to be moving into game 3 now. 1-1 the score. Basically down to a best of 3. Very impressed with how Teamcap adjusted to that game. I like that he went straight in for the explosion and decided just to take the most aggressive option, knowing there's not a lot of free damage that this team can really put out. Explosion being one of the better options. Surprised to see Nnico not play around it even after seeing the White Herb. But Teamcap solidified, played that really, really solidly. Used the Tauros to great effect, and helping hand Thunderbolt not taking out the Tauros is a little bit brutal. But I'm sure now he will be able to recover from that. It is worth noting that Tauros, I think, has a tiny bit of bulk. So that might have been the difference between a KO and not. I think it's got 28 HP EVs. And it may have some extra Spadef EVs accounting for Raikou. That or Raikou isn't using a boosting item. It very well may be something along the lines of Lumberry, for example, trying to avoid Thunder Waves from the Electrode. Just waiting on the players to pick now. Going to be interesting to see what Nnico does this game. Immediately going for the boom is a reliable plan to beat Nnico here. But Teamcap's going to be fully aware of that. I reckon we're not too far off now. Be interesting to see what the players are debating in their minds at this point. I feel like the game plan for Teamcap is potentially slightly more linear. As we've seen both games, it's come down to follow me plus sub belly drum for the Charizard. Nnico's got a little bit more diversity in the team, so I reckon what he's really planning is, how do I finish this game off? The Tauros has been the main factor for him to deal with, and unlike last game, he was able to lock into Earthquake with the Tauros. Game 1 went wrong purely and simply because he had to lock into Return to try and find some damage into whatever was in the back. Earthquake, of course, is a little more safe when you know there's a Sableye, but if it's not even going to end up 2-hit KOing a Vaporeon, and it's not really going to do enough to Sableye, it can end up being a little bit more complex. But Nnico has a lot to consider. Taking out the sub after a follow me is very difficult to do without having to trade an extra Pokemon. Because inevitably Teamcap ends up losing the Furret to follow me, but gains the advantage right back as soon as Charizard is set up. And I think Nnico has to take it a bit differently to game 1, where he chose to go toe-to-toe with the speed and decide to Dragon Dance first, because that turret simply cannot be allowed to stay on the field for free. It has to go down so that you can start taking bites out of the Charizard as soon as possible. So if we do see another turret Charizard lead, I would expect to see Nnico just go straight after the Charizard, and if there's a follow me, it's guaranteed to go down. Other than that, I feel like Teamcap can play a fairly simple game plan into Nnico, and Nnico has to be the one to respond to it. For those watching the stream, I was very convinced Nnico had frozen there. That man is very talented at staying in that very almost freeze frame position. See him reviewing the other games. It's definitely one of the advantages to us playing on Dawn this time instead of in XD like we initially had on the cards. Playing on Dawn means he can go back through some of these other games, really review some of the moves picked, really review the bulk of some of the other Pokemon. So it gives Nnico a lot more information to play with, which should help him combat whatever Teamcap is going to try and do this game, assuming we see a very similar plan. And finally, we're underway for Game 3. We're going to see Sableye and Raikou lead into Furret and the Electrode. Now, for those that play more modern gens, the Fake Out does not have the same priority as Follow Me in this gen. Follow Me has a +3 priority, whereas the Fake Out will only have +1. So there is no way to fake out this Electrode if Follow Me comes off here. And that very well may be the plan for Teamcap here. We may be seeing a Golduck in the back. We may see some Rain Dance action. Or potentially we're going to see Sunny Day and... No, in fact, we wouldn't see Sunny Day in this situation. That is a physical Charizard. But it definitely gives a bit more nuanced position. I don't think Electro can just explode on turn 1. Unless we're going to see Dusclops come in turn 2. But that almost seems a bit too telegraphed, and not exploding in front of a Sableye is probably preferred. One of the big advantages, of course, is that Nnico knows that if this Furret doesn't protect, it can just go down in one turn if he chooses not to fake out. So I believe that to be the real consideration here. There's also other lines such as just clicking Follow Me and then trying to Thunder Wave the Raikou, assuming it has it, of course. That would be enough to hamper it for the rest of the game. It would give Tauros the advantage in terms of speed. We're going to see the Helping Hand fake out into the Electrode here. Thunderbolt into Furret, and I just think Teamcap hasn't quite got that turn right. Crit on the fake out doing 41 is absolutely insane. I think Nnico really gets that turn right. That's possibly the best that could have gone for him. Other than critting the Ferret, of course, but within reasonable control, that's probably the best that could have gone. Teamcap will be fully aware that Fake Out would have redirected Follow Me. I think the Helping Hand was trying to aim to explode and take out the Raikou and try and play 3v2 with the Tauros and potentially the Charizard or Golduck in the back. Or potentially even just going straight into Dusclops. I think Follow Me isn't forced this turn either. I think there is a real way that you can just click Helping Hand Thunderbolt into Sableye, reading for a Protect or a switch from Raikou. I don't think Nnico's going to want to lose this Raikou early. It's one of the most solid checks that he has into both the Charizard and the Golduck. So I think Teamcap on the back foot. Let's see how he adjusts into this second turn. See what sort of creative play he can come up with. He's definitely in danger this turn from a whole myriad of ideas. Protect from the Electrode here. We're going to see the Protect from the Raikou. Read him possibly for the Explosion. Ice Beam into Sableye, and the Shadow Ball's going to hit the Protect. We're basically where we were at the start of the turn. Shadow Ball there is very interesting. Nnico, for the second turn in a row, just says, hey, Ferret, you're not going to follow me. You are not redirecting my attack. Potentially that turn, I think he was reading more for Explosion Protect. Definitely this game is going all of the way. Charizard, why are you eating all my pancakes? Charizard's going to have to drum on that belly, you know? He's full from all those pancakes. That's what Charizards do. Especially in these earlier generations. That's what Charizards do. So I think we are very much in the same position we just were in. The Protects sort of cancel each other out. Nobody really gets any damage over the line. We see a second Protect from the Raikou here. There's going to be the Explosion. Raikou's going to go down. And I think that was pretty well orchestrated from Teamcap there. It's suggesting we're going to be seeing a very similar game plan. We're going to be seeing the Follow Me. We're going to see a Charizard go behind a sub, and we're very likely going to see a Tauros in the back. So Salamence is going to come in immediately. Shadow Ball is going to hit the Charizard, and that is absolutely crucial. Again, saying you are not going to be able to do anything about this. This Shadow Ball actually means you cannot have both your sub and your belly drum. You have to pick. And I quite like it, actually. Salamence is not in a position where it can deal with both of these threats at the same time. The Follow Me is always going to redirect what's going on. So Brick Break's going to not take out the Ferret. Brick Break does not take out the Ferret. And it has to be said at this point, advantage Teamcap. If he can figure out how to play this endgame properly, definitely advantage Teamcap. There is a Protect from Salamence. I think this Protect is pretty telegraphed. Does go after the Sableye. Huge. This Follow Me is still going to be online. We're going to see 2 Follow Me's here. And very much this could come down to whatever's in the back for Teamcap. I would be using HP flying into the Salamence here. We're just going to see 2 Follow Me's, I reckon. And it's going to possibly come down to just whoever wins the speed tie in the end game. Really well read from Teamcap there. I think that the Protect from Nnico is one that I would expect personally. I know he likes to play in this sort of way. Does go for another Protect. We're going to see the Follow Me here. The Hidden Power is going to go into the Mr. Mime. Once again, Nnico just calling out. He's just been absolutely called out. Really well played from Teamcap, and Teamcap's going to move on to Championship point. Nnico saying he forgot he just protected. And, well, we'll say it didn't matter anyway. The speed time was 1 on that turn. We'll say it didn't matter at all. Game 4. Yep, Ferret is viable. Ferret's one of about 6 redirectors in the generation. And I believe in this draft it was in tier 4. Yeah, tier 4. So being a tier 4 pick with Follow Me, your choices are really down to Electabuzz, Magmar, Ferret. Ferret comes with a lot of nice support options, so things like Helping Hand. That Ferret has that a lot of other Pokemon in this generation just don't. So game 4, championship point for Teamcap. I like the way Teamcap went about that. I think he got a lot of turns right, despite turn 1 not quite going his way. He was making a lot of reads that game. He decided to make a lot of reads. And it's paid off. I think long term, trying to make a lot of reads isn't super sustainable. But inevitably, it worked out there. And I'm sort of not used to seeing Teamcap in this position in this specific iteration of the tournament. For those who haven't been able to follow the whole tournament, Teamcap in the last couple of rounds has started off loss, and then won 3 games in a row. Just showing pure ability to adapt. Now he's got to defend a lead and try and bring this title home. Yep, 2-1. Teamcap is up. This is a best of 5 finals. So one more win will seal it for Teamcap. Though we are on stream, and every single stream game in this playoffs has gone to game 5. So will Teamcap be the person to effectively defy history? Will we have a game 4 finals? Now Nnico's got some things to consider. So we've seen in the last 2 games that Teamcap is very happy just leading the explosion Pokemon. And the crucial information that we've learned from both of those games is Electrode this week actually has enough attack to deal with both Salamence and Raikou. We've seen the White Herb, so Intimidate isn't really a factor here. So it's sort of, how does Nnico stop Electrode just trading here? Because that's inevitably all Teamcap has been trying to do. Trade 1-for-1 with the Electrode. Even if there is a Sableye in the way, just trade 1-for-1 with the Electrode. Trade with the Ferret, because Charizard's going to make it up later, and then just hope you have enough resources left at the end of the game that Charizard will be able to sweep, or the inevitable Choice Band Tauros is able to overwhelm whatever's left. We also have to remember Charizard hasn't actually revealed all of its moves. So Charizard is in a position where its 4th move is unrevealed. And it very well could just be Earthquake. Earthquake would help with the matter of Mr. Mime. It would get around the Follow Me. You'd be able to Earthquake into things like the Raikou or the Sableye pretty easily in that situation. Even into the Vaporeon if you need the extra damage. I'm sure a +6 Earthquake is going to probably KO a Mr. Mime. It's probably also very likely going to do a lot of damage to the Vaporeon. It's becoming increasingly more difficult to justify bringing Heracross. I'd imagine that's the Choice Band Pokemon that Nnico has brought this week. Heracross, it just seems like it doesn't have enough of a matchup. It can't protect in front of an explosion, so you can never really lead it with Sableye, which feels like one of its better lead partners. You realistically can't do much into Charizard unless you're going to lock yourself into Hidden Power Rock. But then Tauros can come in, it can start playing around with Intimidate. We're going to see, back to Old Faithful, Raikou plus the Salamence on lead versus Ferret plus Electrode. Now, Electrode's Explosion could pick up both KOs here. I don't think Teamcap is going to go for that on turn 1. I think we're going to see a bit more conservative play from both players. Teamcap has no real onus to take major risks in this game. He's up a game. He could try and play very, very normal, very, 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 very safe, and just try and close this game out. On the other side, Nnico will not want to lose this game on turn 1. So I expect Nnico to make a Sableye switch at some point, and then maybe we can see some reads happen after that. But I think there has to be a point where Teamcap has to be happy going 1 for 2 with Explosion if he's going to click it next to Ferret. It's a very interesting position to be in, where you could just see a turn 1 protect from Raikou, Salamence goes into the Sableye, and then all of a sudden you are in a very awkward position where you're only taking 1 Pokemon down. I think if I'm in Nnico's position, yeah, I would switch out the Salamence. I'd get the Intimidate ready to go again so that a Tauros endgame potentially could be a bit easier. I'd have the Sableye in to exert some fake out pressure, and I'd just protect the Raikou. So there's going to be the helping hand. There's going to be the protection from Raikou. We're going to see Hidden Power Ice into Sableye. I see no reason for there to be helping hand unless that is Hidden Power Ice. In this position, you've got a really simple play of just clicking Fake Out into the Electrode, and then going behind a sub with the Raikou. This even accounts for the Dusclops being in the back, and I see no reason why there would be a Dusclops if these two lead. I'm fairly convinced it has to be Tauros plus Charizard if these two lead. Fake Out into the Electrode. I expect a sub here from Raikou. Yep. And Ice Beam into the Sableye doesn't get the freeze. But I suppose happily for Nnico, or happily for Teamcap rather, the Sableye is in a lot of danger just to go down here. But the counterplay to that is I don't think you can get rid of this sub. I also think we've now learned every move on Electrode. I believe we've seen Protect in Game 3. We've seen Explosion a couple of times. We've now seen Hidden Power. The last move has got to be Thunderbolt. So there is no weather on this team by the looks of things, unless it's Rain Dance Dusclops, I suppose? Or maybe Golduck's going to try and do something? Going to be very curious to see what is going on with both the Golduck and Dusclops. We've not really seen enough of the two to really understand what the game plan would be with those involved. I like Nnico's position here a lot. That sub seems impenetrable at this point. And I just wouldn't anticipate any real response here that's meaningful from Teamcap. I feel as if protecting Electrode isn't really on the cards because you can just lose your Ferret this turn for free. On the flip side to that, if you protect your Ferret and the Quick Claw procs and you use Shadow Ball into the Electrode, it's not good for the Electrode. I feel as if we're staring down a 50-50 on what's going to protect, but this sub can never be dealt with. The Electrode's attack did go down, it just has a white herb. Welcome back.
Hello. I missed out on games 2 and 3, but it appears Teamcap won out on them. So
yep,
Teamcap
has.
4.
Yeah, Teamcap has put himself onto championship point, and sort of an interesting position we find ourselves in here. I marginally prefer Nnico's position. This sub looks to be impenetrable this turn.
Yeah, no, agreed.
You need to see a very specific play to take down the sub, and that just results in you losing one of your Pokemon. So I don't think this sub's ever going down here.
Let me catch up on the moves used just so that way I know what's going on in games 2 and 3. What movesets are available, since that obviously affects what plays are going to happen. But just given that it is
So, what I was just discussing, basically into the void, is that I don't believe Electro can have a weather move. We've seen now Hidden Power, Explosion, and Protect. Unless Teamcap has chosen to go without Thunderbolts,
Which would be
which
very weird.
wouldn't understand, there is no Rain Dance on this Electrode.
No, which would leave Electrode and Furret unable to take out the substitute, barring either Protect Explosion and Sacrifice. Only just to take out a substitute. You can't even hurt the Sableye, or if this Furret has some surprise move that's going to pull out.
We've now seen its full moveset. It's Helping Hand, Follow Me, Protect, Ice Beam. Heracross is going to come in. Thunderbolt into Heracross does negligible damage.
Yeah.
It is a good chip. It does help against the Heracross. The inability to follow a KO with a follow-up simply means that Thunderbolt into this Furret is relatively free. There is, of course, still the threat of Explosion, but Nnico does threaten just to switch back into Sableye to get some fake out with it.
I feel like that's what should happen here. I would have really liked that turn if Teamcap had just gone for Protect Explosion. It was the way to take out the sub, because Nico's never protecting that turn. And then you've just got to hope you take enough initiative with the Tauros. But I suppose having Salamence in the back, you can't safely lock into Earthquake anyway, so I feel that position was very tough for Teamcap no matter what he did.
Yes, agreed.
And I think that's just testament to Nico's positioning. That substitute is just absolutely impenetrable.
Very scary. Let me just memorize the other movesets. Quick break.
We have also seen the Quick Claw on Sableye revealed.
Okay.
At the end of game 2.
I see 3 attack Sableye. Oh, and Helping Hand, yeah, so 2 attacks.
3 attacks Helping Hand.
Helping Hand, yeah, and Quick Claw. I see the Salamence has still only revealed Hidden Power and Dragon Dance, right? It's been eliminated fairly quickly in games 2 and 3.
Still not quite sure what the last move is on that.
Yeah.
And Raikou has revealed to us 3 moves: T-Bolt, Sub Protect.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what the coverage is, whether it's Crunch or whether it's looking at the other team. I don't know what else you would run if it's not Crunch. Maybe Calm Mind?
Like a generic Hidden Power, but honestly...
Hidden Power Grass would be good for the Whiskash, I suppose.
Yeah, because otherwise, Thunderbolt just...
You can't hit it.
Leans against everything.
Yeah. So Helping Hand Thunderbolt will take out the Heracross here.
Yeah. And again, that's a very useful combination because that was the only way Heracross was going down. And we have a Thunderbolt taking out the Furret, bringing the game to 3-3.
Now, crucially, if in this position, Charizard realistically can't come in.
No.
So
the fake out pressure, not having Protect, that's throwing away your Charizard.
Yeah. I feel it wouldn't be Tauros. Oh.
It is Tauros.
I was going to say simply because of the threat of Fake Out plus Thunderbolt is simply very large.
Yeah,
Again,
we can see that it's choice banded, so there is no Protect available to it.
Exactly. And Thunderbolt 2-hit KOs the Tauros, which means... and due
well,
to
you can
the
even Helping Hand here, and it might be a roll.
Yeah, exactly. If it's max special attack, it's not even a roll. It just KOs against.
Oh well, it didn't KO earlier.
Oh, it didn't. Oh, so.
Helping Hand Thunderbolt only did 97 to the Tauros.
Right,
the Tauros does have a minimal amount of bulk invested.
298. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tiny bit of bulk invested. That might be enough to bring it over the line.
It might secretly be special defense oriented.
It could have some special defense. That seems a little bit more likely to me.
Yeah, to survive like a +1 Thunderbolt. In this case, Helping Hand.
But sending out the Tauros again just threatens Fake Out plus Thunderbolt, and since Tauros is on the field, there is less likelihood of just a boom coming. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to get rid of the Sableye first before you can threaten Boom. And in this turn, Thunderbolt is going to probably come out onto the Tauros. It does.
And it
with a
crits.
critical hit, it one-shots the Tauros when otherwise would not have.
And that's huge in this situation.
Yeah.
I mean,
because if the Tauros survives, there is a possibility of, well, it's not Dusclops, but of, like, threatening a Boom.
Well,
in this
if
case, however,
Tauros is able to survive there, you might be able to see a crit into that Salamence that makes this endgame perhaps a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm. But now I just think Raikou is too threatening. It most likely, if not it's guaranteed, is going to one-shot the Charizard.
I would imagine it does.
And the Salamence could just go for a Dragon Dance in case there's a Protect, and, you know, you could eventually set up an Earthquake endgame.
Yep.
Instead, both players going for Thunderbolts, trying to get damage. Thunderbolt does not KO the Salamence, but
Hidden Power Ice from the Electrode. Still notable that it doesn't KO.
Yeah, so there's not enough special attack investment on the Electrode, or the Salamence is running enough bulk. It does have no HP investment, the Salamence, but it could be running some special defense.
And that should be all we wrote for Game 4. And in classic fashion, we have gone to Game 5 on stream.
Yeah, and I do appreciate that, because it makes the sets more exciting. It makes stream sets more exciting when there's tension. You can't, if there's a set that's on stream and it just goes one-sided, all the tension sort of disappears. Instead, we go to a Game 5, both players having a lot of information available to them on movesets, both of them running Helping Hand Ghosts, both of them running setup sweepers, setup flying types, both of them running electric types. There are some similarities between their teams.
Yeah, the teams actually end up being a bit more, like, closely related than you'd expect.
Yeah. Again, Teamcap's lower damage output was looking pretty difficult, but it's more than made up for with the threat of Belizard. And Tauros in itself, too, is a one Pokemon army. And really does damage when Sableye isn't on the field or it isn't intimidated. It does get outrun by Raikou, but Teamcap has options to redirect around it. We haven't seen Golduck, correct?
We haven't seen Golduck yet.
Okay. Golduck,
but I believe
having
Nnico
a
has
difficult
brought
matchup.
all 6 of his Pokemon now.
Yeah. Golduck having a difficult matchup versus the Raikou, but who knows? It's Game 5 of the championship set of Mount Battle 4.
I'm very interested
Golduck will have
to
a
see.
secret weapon.
It seems to have secret weapons every week it's been brought. So it very well could.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, I need to see if Teamcap's got any different ideas. For the last 3 games now, we've seen him lead Ferret Electrode. And I think, generally speaking, he's played it pretty well. But it took Nnico until Game 4 to realize, hey, if I set up a sub in front of you, what do you do? And it turns out the options for it aren't amazing.
No. So maybe Teamcap adjusts the lead.
Yep. That's what I'd like to see, because Nnico is now playing a bit more defensively around the explosion. We saw in Game 2 he didn't do that. He got caught off guard by the explosion, lost the Salamence on turn 1, and then Teamcap was able to stabilize and make it a pretty clean game. In the last 2 games, we've seen that Electro doesn't have as much license to just explode on turn 1, especially when there's a Stabilize knocking around. So it will be interesting to see how he adjusts the game plan at this point. I think at this point, Nnico's figured out what Ferret Electrode is trying to do. He can play defensively enough to where he's not losing a load of ground, but he's also able just to really annoy Teamcap, set up an offensive threat of his own, have Sableye in versus the Electrode, which just seems to be a good matchup for it.
Yeah. In general, Sableye has a fantastic typing matchup against Teamcap's team. Like, it walls the Tauros, it deals well with the Dusclops, the Furt isn't really doing much damage with Ice Beam. It just has to worry about Thunderbolt and a fully powered Charizard.
Yeah. Just want some questions from the chat. LRXC, yeah, Raikou does have Protect and Sub.
The fourth move hasn't been revealed to Raikou, to my knowledge, looking at the past games. It is possibly just Hidden Power Grass to deal with Wish Cash.
I'd say it's one of HP Grass or Crunch.
Yeah. I feel like if it were Calm Mind, we would have seen it sooner.
I feel as if, yeah, he would have found room to click that already.
Yeah, so... even then, Raikou is simply such a machine clicking Thunderbolt. And on the opposite side, Teamcap 2 also being able to freely click Thunderbolt. Both of these electric types only have to worry about each other when it comes to resist. So Thunderbolt is a very easy move to click, and you don't have to worry about switch-ins for both players. Electrode, of course, having the speed advantage and a threat of boom, but Raikou simply having the stats advantage and a very powerful substitute. But with Nnico having knowledge of the movesets, and Nico's very good at like adapting to various movesets, knows that what the power output is going to be. It's going to be Tauros, it's going to be Electrode, it's going to be Charizard. It's not the Dusclops Ferret, and we haven't seen the Golduck. And Nnico knows where the power is coming from. It's coming from the Choice Band, it's coming from the Belly Drum. Nnico is very adaptable and can just figure out how to play around these two threats, especially with the high speed of Raikou, and can just find ways to make sure that Teamcap can never get a snowball built.
Yeah, he did a really, really good job in that last game of effectively forcing the Charizard in a position where it could never get a Belly Drum or a sub.
Yeah. Like, Teamcap's outs versus Raikou really are just Boom and hopefully a Tauros.
Yeah, we do know that Tauros has Earthquake.
Yeah. We could see a Tauros lead from Teamcap saying, I don't care if you bring in your Salamence, I just want to get rid of Raikou as soon as possible so I can finish the game with Charizard for it.
Yeah, I feel as if the Raikou goes down, Charizard just has so much space to maneuver.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like a late game Ferret plus Charizard could spell disaster. Again, once...
Well, we've already seen that this Sableye only does like 35 to the Ferret with Brick Break.
Mm-hmm.
So, a late game where you're preserving this Sableye and then you run into Ferret Charizard, that could genuinely just spell the end of the game.
Yeah, there's not enough damage. If the Sableye being passive doesn't have enough damage output to break through Ferret, Charizard simply wins. And of course, Ferret Charizard would have to get on the field safely, in the face of the Raikou, of the Charizard. I mean, of the Salamence, who can also Dragon Dance and just take out Ferret on turn 2. So, Teamcap probably just gonna have to go on a gamble. Do what lead will Nnico run? Since Nnico is almost certainly going to be bringing Raikou, Sableye, and Charizard. I mean, why do I keep saying Charizard? That's Salamence.
Yeah, those first three seem inevitable. He's been playing around with that fourth slot a lot. It feels like Mr. Mime was possibly the way to go. That last game, I don't think the fourth slot was relevant at all. Heracross just came in and died.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's really, how do these first three just beat Teamcap at this point? Because I don't think the last three members of Nnico's team are going to be major players.
Yeah, like, Heracross is not happy facing Charizard. Like, Vaporeon doesn't like dealing with the Electro, doesn't like dealing with Tauros. Just goes too fast, hits these too hard. If a setup Charizard just completely wins the game automatically.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like I would be playing with Mr. Mime and just saying, hey, I'm going to redirect one of your attacks. Let's play, you know?
Yeah, like, to slow down the power, like, Nnico having, like, a power advantage can just, like, slow down the game with Mr. Mime.
Yeah. I mean, there's always those sort of endgame ideas where it's like, well, Mr. Mime's going to redirect, I'm going to Thunderbolt your Charizard, you lose that now, and we'll play with whatever we've got left.
Yeah.
Which sometimes is enough.
Yeah, in that case, Nnico simply has the power advantage. Raikou, again, being such an amazing and versatile Pokemon with high speed, great stab, substitute, Calm Mind. Electric types are amazing in many generations just because of their unique stat threats.
Yeah.
Both players taking a really long time to pick their Pokemon. Again, probably doing a lot of damage calcs.
Totally understandable in this case because this is Game 5 of a Grand Finals. I would be taking just as much, if not more time than they are.
Yeah. Like, alright, if I'm facing this lead, maybe I have this as an option. Oftentimes, doubles battles can come down to a Nash equilibrium if I want to bring the lead that can best deal with as many lead combinations as possible. Sometimes that works out for the matchup. Other times, there is no such equilibrium lead. You simply have to play rock, paper, scissors. So both players may be trying to decide what is the best option for me, and if I can't think of a best option, I just have to play rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. It feels very much like I discussed earlier in the set. Teamcap's team feels a touch more linear than Nnico's. Because Nnico at any point can just throw out one of his breakers and just try and smack Teamcap's Pokemon in the face.
Yeah.
Teamcap's really having to work for the positioning for the wins. So the way he's won is by getting Charizard in late and having Ferret alive.
Yes. And
so
we do see that it's not a Belizard lead turn 1. And instead is going again for that Ferret and Electrode lead.
Going for what he's tried the last couple of games. Last time we saw the Sableye lead into these, Nnico basically just called Teamcap out and fake out the Electrode.
One thing too, though, is that the Ferret with its follow me at +2 priority can redirect the fake out, and it becomes a game of will the Electrode boom and go -2 just to eliminate the Raikou.
Go -2 to eliminate Raikou.
And then just try to set up a Belizard against hopefully Heracross.
Here is a protect explosion straight away. Raikou is going down.
No fake out from the Sableye, not going into the Electrode. Teamcap saying, I think this is my best way out. I'm going to remove the Raikou. I don't think you're going to fake out, and it pays off.
And we're seeing effectively a repeat of Game 2. Losing a Pokemon on turn 1, this time it's more crucial with the Raikou going down. Losing Salamence in Game 2 sucked, but inevitably Nnico still had a bit of play. This game, losing Raikou's got to hurt. Now, it depends on what this Sableye decided to hit. Brick Break into the Protect will not do it.
And with that, there's not even enough, say, chip from like a Shadow Ball to
there's no way, I think, to remove the Ferret either. I think this Ferret might be physically defensive.
Yeah, because of the low damage from the Brick Break.
Yeah, so we
critical hit. What does Nnico have to do to get past Ferret Charizard?
It feels like it's an uphill battle at this point to just take out both of these Pokemon.
Yeah. Like, perhaps a critical hit of Hidden Power Flying into the Ferrets, a critical hit Brick Break or something, maybe get in a Tauros.
I think you need 2 crits, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, like, if you go for a Dragon Dance, you're going to have similar things what happened before, is where you get the Dragon Dance, you get the Speed Boost, but you have to get through Substitute first.
And unless Sableye gets a clutch Quick Claw, that's not going to happen in any meaningful way.
Yeah, and then the Charizard just takes out the Salamence because even if it outruns it, if it doesn't outrun, it's fine. Or even if Charizard, if Teamcap is like, I think Charizard is faster than Salamence, I could just attack the Sableye, which doesn't have Protect, and then like safely endgame versus Salamence, knowing I'm faster.
Yep. So follow me, sub as expected.
Dragon Dance,
DD.
and do we go for a critical hit? It does not critical hit, and with 36%. Teamcap is in a position to simply click Follow Me, Belly Drum. There's no way this Charizard is taking any damage this turn.
I'm not 100% convinced this Ferret goes down.
But yeah. Ferret probably goes down. And Nnico probably just has to call, is it the Tauros or is it the Dusclops in the back? Am I going to go try for Brick Break critical hit, or am I trying to go for a critical hit Shadow Ball?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not convinced this Ferret will go down to a Hidden Power.
because of
It's
the
not the
physical bulk,
bulkiest
even
thing in
the
the world,
purple?
but if it is physically bulky, I'm not convinced it will go down.
Yes, we'll have to see. If it's also possible that Teamcap is extremely gutsy,
Goes
going
just
for
goes
like a
protect and
break.
belly drum.
Yeah, and protects, or even switches in Tauros.
I actually really like protect belly drum here because without the quick claw proccing, Charizard gets its belly drum and you still have a follow me available.
Yes, and of course this is because if, depending on the calculations, if Hidden Power doesn't KO the Salamence, which Nico's probably calcing right now, if Hidden Power doesn't KO the Salamence, you are very, very poorly. You're probably the game if you Shadow Ball into a living Furret. You probably have to go for Brick Break. It might just make Protect that much.
I mean, even if it's
appealing.
Tauros in the back, going Tauros now, putting Sableye at -1, even if the Quick Claw does proc, it might not break Charizard's sub.
Yeah. Exactly. So with that in mind, Nico's just got to go for these really hard reads. Got to hope for a critical hit on Teamcap side. Maybe TCap just knows, okay, the best way through is a hard read or a critical hit.
Yep.
I'm just going to click follow me and let hope the game doesn't
Just let the
RNG
dice fall where they may. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that follow me may almost be superfluous. If you've got the Tauros, I'd just go to it now. Get that Salamence back to neutral attack. Get that Sableye to -1. And then hopefully you should have a belly drum and you are safe for the turn.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that could work. Or protect may just be safer.
Yeah.
It's a lot more to think about than just, hey, this is going to follow me this turn.
A lot of thinking, but again, on Teamcap's end, there is always the consideration of I don't want to think, I don't want to get hard read, I don't want to lose to something like a Hidden Power flying and then a hard read critical hit Shadow Ball, or a claw Shadow Ball break sub, Salamence takes out the Charizard before it can belly drum. Maybe Teamcap says, let's not think, let's click.
Let's not play around with RNG. Let's just follow me.
Yeah, let's no thinking, just let it be. Hope. Let's just not get crits. I don't want to lose to. I
don't want to lose to RNG. I'm just gonna play safe.
Yeah, exactly. In this case,
follow me does mean that sub can never go down. So there's a lot of reason to not risk it.
I almost feel like Teamcap's probably drawing like an if-then tree. Like if the Furret goes down and then the Tauros comes in, but then if
there's a whole flow chart here, yeah.
Afterwards, can I take out the Charizard if it targets down my Sableye?
Yeah. So yep, we do just see a follow me. Brick Break with the Quick Claw goes off first, which I feel is actually not great for Nnico in this position because now he's not going to get any discovered attacks into the Tauros.
No, if that Hidden Power flying was a guaranteed KO, or if it was a chance for a critical hit, at least the Sableye would be able to get a discovered attack onto the Tauros. Yeah. A KO range possibly, for whatever's in the back, or just. But instead, because of the order, now Tauros is in safely, does not have its attack dropped, is faster than the Sableye, and the Charger is threatening just a one-hit KO onto the Salamence.
It threatens a one-hit kill to everything for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and heck, even if maybe Teamcap just says, "I know you don't have Protect. I'm gonna go super safe. I'm willing to sacrifice my Charizard. Once I get rid of the Sableye, Tauros can clean the game."
I mean, there's potential that if this is Choice Band Tauros, Hyper Beam might be a kill into Salamence.
Yeah.
So there very well could be a line where you say, I'm going to take out this Sableye that has no Protect, I'm going to Hyper Beam your Salamence, and then my Charizard beats whatever you have in the back.
Yes. So Teamcap, of course, having to be very afraid of the Quick Claw.
Mr. Mime comes in.
Shadow Ball. And instead, Nnico goes for a Protect, trying to at least get maybe more stats set up with a Mr. Mime. But
locks into double edge.
I'm going to go double into that slot. I am going to take a KO. I am hoping Quick Claw doesn't proc. And instead, I think this is game.
Well, seeing that this Tauros is just locked into double edge for some reason, there are plays here where potentially you get the quick claw into Charizard, the hidden power takes it down afterwards, but it's not going to happen. The quick claw doesn't come off for Nnico. Charizard will live the turn, and that's going to be game. And Teamcap's going to take down the championship.
With that, one final hidden power, and the set is over. Your Mount Battle for Draft League champion is our very own Teamcap, both incidentally also the organizer for the entire league. Happens to be the winner too through a combination of skill and luck. Good game to both players.
Skill, luck, and some of the weirdest Pokemon I've seen on a team. But he made this work.
Let's go Golduck, which unfortunately did not see any play during this set.
Let's go Golduck. Let's go Charizard.
Yeah, crazy.
Let's go Charizard. Let's go Furret. Like, all of these Pokemon just don't seem to work together. And they worked.
Yeah. Man, that was crazy.
That was a crazy set.
Crazy set as usual.
I had a feeling the Bellizard was coming, but I guess I didn't really prep for it. I was thinking, man, I should have run like Rock Slide Salamence or something.
Yeah, dude, like Rock HP Flying, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't like fake out the Electro turn 1. I don't know. I feel like I keep doing these misplays where I don't where I play around them. Well, where I think they don't boom turn 1, but then they just boom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It looked very similar to Game 2 in that aspect where he was able to find an explosion on turn 1 just because it was open.
Yeah, yeah. I was very concerned about taking too much damage on Sableye. I was thinking he would just like,
yeah,
I don't know, follow me away the fake out and just go for a T-Bolt. Like the T-Bolts were doing a little bit too much damage, but in the end that was a really safe play to just fake out substitute. But yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty much guaranteed either to go two for 1. So, or you get the sub.
Yeah, congrats to Teamcap. That was amazing. Pure gaming.
Yeah, no, it was a lovely set because it wasn't one off the back of a crit, for example. This set was one. Well, both of you basically won all your games by just being the better player in that game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was nice.
And had the quick claw gone off at the end, that would have equally just been it.
Had what?
Had the quick claw gone off in the end, yeah, that could have been game as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's good that it wasn't really decided by RNG. I was really hoping that my Mens could win the speed tie because I was jolly max speed, but it seemed like it never won.
It looked like you had only to go for quick claw, take out the sub, then win the speed tie, and then Tauros can't beat Sableye.
Yeah.
Because it chose to lock into double edge instead of the like hidden power ghost.
Yeah. God damn. Yeah, congratulations to Teamcap for winning. That was a wonderful showing of what you can achieve in a draft league.
His draft experience really showed in a lot of the building actually throughout this tour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is
really found a way to extract value.
I asked him.
Is Teamcap available?
I asked.
Oh yeah, you already pinged, so we'll just have to wait.
If Teamcap isn't available, he's written some notes in the Discord. See if he's available first, and I can let him explain it.
God damn it, man! These turn 1 explosions.
Turn 1 explosion is one of the most almost gutsy plays you can make. Cause it's like, well, I'm just gonna roll that you're not gonna protect.
Yeah. But that was so much fun. Can't be mad about it. It was
Hello,
Teamcap.
Hello. We can't hear you.
I cannot hear you.
Now
there.
Okay.
Hello.
There you
Okay,
are.
now I can hear you. Hello, guys.
Hello, Teamcap.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm gonna be sharing the team on the post game in case you wanna watch it. In the you are still in stream, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, there you can see the team, the Fire Blast Tauros that never had any situation to click Fire Blast. There was no fortress.
What? Wow.
I had a Fire Blast Tauros for the fortress, but you didn't bring it.
It's Fire Blast plus Damp Gold Duck because you really did not want to get boomed on.
Yeah, like
Oh.
I was thinking, right? Like if what's good into my Charizard follow me thing? A fortress, it explodes, right? Boom! I have a Golduck, but even that he didn't have the fortress, I never had any reason at all to bring the Golduck.
Mm.
With quick claw, which by the way I would have lost the game to some quick claw in that. Like the quick claw Sableye is so evil, man.
I didn't really achieve much, but yeah.
And just so looking
Yeah,
at
but
your
it
team,
had the chance. I was so nervous. Like at any point, you could have activated Quick Claw to Shadow Ball my substitute and then win the speed tie and kill my Charizard. And I was like, no, don't do that, please.
Nnico, you were running Jolly Salamence, correct?
Yes, I was Jolly. I was Jolly max speed. At first I was Adamant max speed, and then I was thinking, why would I do that when I can just go Jolly? Like, I thought he was gonna be like modest max speed Charizard because that still outspeeds Heracross, but yeah, in the end, like a few hours before the match, I was like, why would I run the risk of like getting outsped? So yeah, I went Jolly max speed.
Yeah, I had max speed to speed tie your Salamence. Like I knew probably some games were gonna come to a speed tie.
Yeah.
Game 1 came to a speed tie, right? Yeah.
Did it? I think you won the speed
yeah, I
tie,
think
no?
they did.
Yeah.
I won the game
That's
still.
that's
so-
what I mean. Game 1?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
game
Yeah,
one
the
needs to work
Vaporeon.
because of the Tauros Sableye and game.
So I think the speed ties never really mattered. But I feel like I always lost them. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, we got your team
By
on
the
the
way-
stream, so we can talk about that. But yeah.
Yeah, I had my Tauros which wasn't actually max attack. I had like some speed F to survive a helping hand Thunderbolt from Raikou.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Even
you
Magnet.
did build for that, yeah.
I was even Magnet.
I didn't wanna. Yeah, like but also the lack of attack meant that Double Edge had not a great chance to KO some months. Like, let me give you the calc against the Salamence. Could you send your team, by the way, so
Yeah,
I
sure.
can do the calcs and all that?
Yes.
I'm also looking through this list. You had Snatch Dusclops.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose to Calm Mind. You have seen me lose with my Duke Clubs to Calm Mind Raikou. Not again. That's not happening
Not
again.
happening
That's
again.
what I had match.
Just, I'm going to take that, thanks.
Yeah, I not a chance. But like, yeah, the chance for Tauros to kill a Salamence is like 18% because the fact that I wasn't max attack,
Mm-hmm.
which was I still was able to one hit KO a Heracross. So yeah, that's what mattered the most to me there.
Honestly, I still can't believe that your team won, but the Belisard really like came in to destroy everything, and gotta respect the Belisard. That's
Where
such
do you
a
expect me?
crazy. I mean, it crossed my
What do you
mind.
expect?
It crossed my mind that like I guess I could have a Belisard weakness, but I didn't really prep for it, so that's definitely on me for like not having some text for that, because I guess I don't know, I just in some way it just didn't seem like a big issue because I had Raikou and Vaporeon and yeah, I don't know.
I thought you might be Rock Slide on the Heracross.
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
That, but oh, I see. What was the? Okay, you
Yeah, I
just
shared my
shared the
team.
thing so I can see. Was okay. It was Choice Band, Mega Horn, Earthquake, Hidden Power Ghost, Brick Break. Okay. Yeah, like what I expected to be.
Yeah, I was like jolly to like speed tie potentially Golduck, like at worst speed tie. In the end, I don't know. I was
But
also
yeah.
thinking about Endure. Um, maybe might have been better, but also Heracross kind of didn't really achieve much. Actually, at the very end, at game 5, I was debating leading Heracross, and I think I should have gone for it. Um, but I was so I was gonna go Sableye plus Heracross lead, and then I could fake out your Electrode and double up with Brick Break because you didn't seem to have Protect. And if you followed me, then I just get
Who?
the KO on your
Sorry,
fur.
protect.
You didn't have. Oh, you
Yes.
did have Protect. Oh, okay. My
Oh,
bad.
I don't.
I think Protect was
On the Electro,
revealed.
you mean?
Wait, was it? I feel
Yeah.
like you never went for
In
Protect.
game 3, I think he protected in the early game.
Ooh.
In game 3, I protected turn 1. Yeah, don't worry. I also forgot about some moves. Like, you clicked Helping Hand with Sableye game 2,
Yeah.
and I spent all of game 3 and game 4 thinking, is it protect, is it not protect? But you revealed the Helping Hand already.
Yeah. Let me see. I pulled up my team as well so that people can see it.
Yeah, I'm posting the replays before I forget.
Come again?
Replay right here. That I'm posting the replays before I forget and they
Oh, yeah.
don't work anymore.
Yeah, I hope they're not expired.
Nnico versus Teamcap. There we go. Do they work? They work. Perfect. After having used Salamence the entire season, do you think Salamence should go to tier 1? Are you with me on that?
I mean,
I feel like it's too one-dimensional
Season
for
and you
me.
used it this time. Sorry, what? I didn't hear that.
I feel like it's a little bit one-dimensional for me because the real power of it was just being a DD bot in a way. I don't know if you ever bought Choice Band.
I did bring Choice Band. It totally lost
me?
me the game because like I had one day to
Yeah.
prep, and it was so bad.
Yeah,
Did you
I
bring
feel like
mixed?
it's not quite as diverse as some of the other Pokemon in Tier 1. I definitely think it's better than like Marowak for Tier 1, for example.
Yeah. I guess Salamence is better than something like Marowak, probably even Arcanine.
Probably Arcanine,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess I could see it in tier 1, but also we probably should go for a system that kind of doesn't put all these crazy mons like Raikou. Wait, I don't know. Is Raikou even that crazy? I don't know. I feel like it's pretty balanced.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Would the
I think it's good.
solution?
I don't know if it's as good as some people say. So many people said Raikou is the best mon in
Yeah.
this. I don't know if it's really.
No,
the best
I
mon.
still believe it to be Metagross. But
Yeah,
I picked
like,
it, so
personally, I have Metagross above Raikou in draft.
Yeah, probably.
yeah. When I was I think I was in pick 3 or 4, and Metagross fell to me, and I was like, "What? Okay, I'll have that. Thank you."
Also, when it was my turn, I had the option to pick. If I remember correctly, I had the option to pick both Raikou and Tauros, and I said I prefer Tauros honestly, because I feel like I can do. It can be more of a team player, like because the Tauros it doesn't just play for itself; it plays for other mons with Intimidate. So often you get to switch into it and Intimidate to have another mon survive. With the Raikou, I feel like you are playing to be supported by others, not just. Meanwhile, the Tauros, yes, it's not as good offensively as the Raikou, but it can support the other good mons that you draft. That's why personally I prefer the Tauros. I don't know obviously if it's the correct play. Like it won, yes, but it's not necessarily the best. It's not necessarily better than
I can
Raikou.
I can see the pluses to both. What I like about Raikou in draft is sort of running a almost semi-support set because it does have access to sort of Thunder Wave, Swagger, decent support moves. And it being faster than base 110 is something I really appreciate in a Pokemon.
It is very fast.
You,
Yes.
you know who else? You know who else is faster, has Underway and Swagger? Electrode. Let's talk about
Electrode.
Electrode.
Electrode is
is
crazy.
so good. Electrode
Yes.
carried me. Yeah, like
Yeah,
you
Electro
saw
gave you
it.
a lot of really good value. Tier 3, I think it was.
Was it?
yeah, like I don't think it's
Electro is tier
oh,
3?
It's tier
What?
3.
Electrode, I think, is Tier 3.
It's
Yeah.
tier 3.
The high speed is so much more useful in draft when you can scout the opponent's speed tiers. That's a good pick for Team Cap.
Still,
Yeah.
And it put in the
don't you
work.
think it should be tier 2? Seems so high, in my opinion.
Genuine Angus beef
Yeah, it
asked.
feels like it's in that weird sort of half space between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
'Cause it easily could
Yeah.
be.
It's
Like-
yeah.
If you move to doing points in the next one,
Mm.
it's well, also what round did I pick it? Where is my draft? I
picked
picked
it
it like round
Round 6.
6.
Wow. That late.
Yeah,
How did people not pick it?
yeah.
Crazy. I picked Sableye round 4.
I don't know.
Apparently, I picked Haunter in round 4.
Crazy.
That thing came to 5 games, clicked 2 move, and did it even come? Actually, I think it might have come to like 1 game and clicked a move and died.
That thing is just too frail, right?
You know what mon I you know what mon I picked early and didn't do as much. Like it did well, but it didn't do as much. The Medicham.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Medicham is such a volatile mon. It's not always really the best. It's sometimes good. Depends, right? Like on the I think it was quarterfinals where I had Endure Explosion into Salak. Like that, it's good. But just as a fake out user, I feel like in draft, because in ladder, people don't always have so many mons that are faster. Yes, you have your Latios and you have your Zapdos, but then you have a lot of slower mons. But in draft, where you usually draft a balanced speed tiers, you have too many mons that are faster than the Medicham. And usually they are offensive. Like, you can have Salamence, Raikou, Electros, all of those mons. The Medicham, like, still, it was good. But it was usually good when I was doing it with Salak.
Yeah. I mean,
Medicham,
it doesn't really have the bulk to not be doing Salak a lot of the time, it feels like.
yeah.
Like, other weeks I was just a fake out support mon. But in draft, I feel like it's better to have a follow me mon. And speaking about follow me, let's talk about the Mr. Mime, the Furet, all of these follow me mons that I think are really underrated in draft. They give you so much potential.
I mean, we look
Yeah.
at the top 4, every one of us had a redirector.
Yeah.
So I think Follow Me is just very impactful.
For sure. I think
It'll
Yeah,
always
like-
prove to be very good.
Mr. Mime is actually
think
might be the
having-
best follow me user in draft just because it's fast and has encore. I think it might be better than
Well-
Clefable. I don't know.
I think Clefable
don't
is
know
better
better than
because
Clefable.
of... Like, yeah, I don't think it's better than Clefable, and I don't know if it's better than the Togetic either, but besides those two, it's definitely top 3. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
it's
think
better
top
than the
3.
normal types. Top 3 is, like...
It
it's
has a
not
bit
out-
more equipment for it that makes
Okay.
it better than, I think, Electabuzz. I think those are fairly close because Electabuzz can just
Yeah,
choose to go
Electabuzz and
offensive.
Magmar being weak to Earthquake is like, yikes.
Yeah, it's a problem for them.
Who else gets follow me? Raichu, who is also weak to Earthquake.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if somebody had
Still,
gone
I
for
think-
Follow Me Raichu, that would have been fun.
I think that tier 4 Furet was such a steal. It should never... I don't think that none of Clefable, Togetic, Mr. Mime, and Furet should ever be below tier 3.
Yeah.
Like, the others, fine. They are weak to Earthquake. But Furet is too good to be all the way down in tier 4. That was definitely a bad tiering decision by me.
Yeah.
Fair
As a
enough.
general rule of thumb, in doubles draft leagues, you always want your redirection to be higher value. I've seen this in Generation 8. I've seen this in BDSP. I've seen this in Scarlet Violet. Redirection is simply such a powerful tool that when you have very few redirect users, whoever gets their hands on it tends to like just run away with setup mons. Because there are always a lot of setup mons, but not many mons get follow me. Or Rage Powder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the
I
future.
think you'd much rather overvalue follow me because of just how much it can take a game.
Yeah.
Way nicer to play a little bit safer with that.
Yeah. Genuine Angus Beef asked
Also,
before if I
I-
used special Salamence at all. Yes, I did. It was pretty good. Yeah, I think Salamence is pretty good. Like, honestly, Salamence felt better than Raikou sometimes. I didn't, like, Raikou felt like it didn't actually win me that many games, but sometimes Salamence just ran away with the game next to Mr. Mime. Yeah.
Also, if we go back real quick to the finals, I just realized you had Hidden Power Grass on the Raikou. You actually expected me to bring the Whiscash?
Brought a Fire Blast
Because
Tauros.
You did bring it
Yeah.
against Michael, so... I mean,
Yeah, I brought it the last time I played against Raikou. The last time I played Raikou Salamence, I brought the Whiscash. But I thought, okay, I did it last time and he helped me prep for that. So he will have the Hidden Power Grass this time. I didn't expect it necessarily on the Raikou, but maybe on the Vaporeon.
Yeah, it was on the Vaporeon as well.
I was
Yeah, it was in
considering
both.
I was
expected it
considering
to
going
Vapo.
I was considering going Substitute and Calm Mind, but in the end I don't know how much I really want Calm Mind, like how much I needed it, because I was not gonna KO Tauros anyways at +1, and I didn't need a boost to like KO Charizard, and I guess I could have Calm Minded to beat the Ferret, but I feel like I would always substitute anyways. So yeah.
Oh man, right, the Furret thing. I didn't know you didn't eat Ayapapa in the middle of the turn. Because I had Ayapapa because with that I survived a Raikou Thunderbolt into a Salamence Hidden Power Flying because I thought I would eat it in the middle of the turn. I didn't know it had to wait until the end, like
Yeah.
the Salakberry or those orders. That's so bad, man.
You
What?
you must have seen that before, right? Not the first time you used it.
I have used the Ayapapa many times, but I just forgot,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
But
Well, with how
Like-
often they've changed item mechanics in the early gens, it's easy to just go, oh, I think this procs mid-turn.
Yeah.
still, having the Ayapapa is good, you know, it can help me, especially, well, maybe having the leftovers in there would have been better instead of on the two clubs who only came to one game and then never again.
At
It,
least,
it depends on how many turns you think you're going to keep the Furret around, I suppose.
yeah. At least.
How much does
at
Ayapapa heal for in this gen?
12%.
12%.
At least
12,
Lumberry.
yeah,
At
left
least
over
Lumberry
12.
procs mid-turn. Imagine if Lumberry didn't proc mid-turn.
No, don't. Don't say things
Also,
like that.
You know how game 1 I bring the two clubs, you reveal a max attack Adamant Sableye with Shadow Ball, and I never bring the two clubs again because what?
Just put that straight
didn't
back in the
expect-
back.
I wasn't expecting Sableye, and I especially wasn't expecting max attack Shadow Ball
Wait,
and
you,
Brick Break.
you were not expecting Sableye?
I was not. I mean, let me show the thing that I have because I did a whole analysis of your draft in my team thingy.
Yeah.
I had Sableye on the maybe tier. Like I said, okay, Raikou, Salamence, Mr. Mime, Vaporeon, Heracross are coming. Then maybe Sableye or Fortress, and then the other three were not coming. Let me show the image in the post-game chat. I showed that image in my team analysis in my video, which is probably coming this weekend.
Sableye felt so important to me because at least you can't boom and take out both of my mons, and at least I have a fake out. And I was thinking like helping hand T-Bolt to KO the Tauros. In the end, yeah, it had enough bulk to live, but it definitely seemed like one of the most important parts of the team.
Like, I guess, I just thought the Fortress could also do that. Obviously, the Sableye was amazing and I was wrong. But in my mind, the fortress would also be an answer to the explosion electrode to the Tauros and to the Velidrum Charizard, while also being able to do more than the Sableye. Obviously, as I said, I was wrong. The Sableye was like so important in all of these games, but yeah, that's the rationale of why I expected the Fortress instead of the Sableye.
Yeah. I might have. Maybe I shouldn't have brought Heracross. Honestly, I don't know. But also Vaporeon. I don't know. It's crazy. I thought Vaporeon would be so good, but like in the end, because of Tauros and Charizard and Electrode, it didn't see any light of day, and Heracross also didn't feel like it was worth it. Maybe I should have brought Fortress, but I lost. How do you say? I lost confidence
Maybe
in
the
Fortress.
Maybe the Heracross had Rock Slide. Then maybe it could have done it because of ignoring Follow Me and breaking the substitute or just straight up killing the Charizard if it's low enough.
But then you still threaten HP flying. But yeah, I guess if I Follow Me. Yeah.
Maybe the Dugtrio could have come either. Or Ninjask.
I think I was debating Dugtrio.
No.
I don't remember. Yeah, your team was so EQ weak. I was thinking Dugtrio could be good. I was thinking your team is like both electric
also,
and EQ weak. Yeah.
Yeah, also I got greedy with the Electrode, and I only gave it a speed for Raikou, so max speed Dugtrio would have been faster. Like, I could have dropped a little bit more of special attack to be faster than Dugtrio, but I said, I think it's more likely that the special attack matters than the likelihood of the Dugtrio coming.
That's crazy. I can't believe you risked that.
Yeah,
Damn.
I get a little bit greedy sometimes.
Yeah. But yeah, that paid off. Yeah.
Other times I don't get greedy, like with the max speed Charizard, which was definitely the play here.
Yeah. Wow.
Also, the Golduck, like, I just really didn't know what to do with Golduck. It was just here so that if you had a Fortress, you didn't want to click Explosion. So I had like Quick Claw, and Power Electric. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna go see if I can start editing the final video so that I can get it out as soon as possible.
Yeah. Ooh. Looking forward to it.
So yeah, nice games, Nnico.
Yeah, everybody who's watching the stream right now, I posted the link to Teamcap's YouTube channel. Go to subscribe to watch the video when it comes out.
Yeah, it's gonna be coming out in the next few days. So yeah.
Yeah. Good
Bye,
games.
Nnico. Bye, guys.
Yeah, right, see you.
Goodbye, Teamcap.
Congratulations again.
All right. With that, I think we've officially concluded Mount Battle 4. If you have any last words, Nnico. Otherwise, again, thank you for streaming.
Yeah, thank you for coming on to commentate. I appreciate it. Thanks to Teamcap for hosting the tour. Of course, not only did he win it, he was also the host behind it. Thanks to everyone who joined. It's nice that we got once again 20 people for 2 pools of 10. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm already looking forward to the next one, which is probably going to be around July next year again. And yeah, hopefully you all are going to join. Everybody who's watching right now, if you want to join, you can join the Discord, where you get updated about everything, all the tournaments, and where you can come in and just try out the format. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And now I gotta get into VGC because Lille Regionals is gonna come sooner than I can get ready for it. So yeah. But yeah, thanks so much for coming on.
No problem. And to everybody else who's watching, we will be having another tournament next month, or a cup 14. So you can look forward to that soon. All right.
Also, thanks to you, Yuki, for coming on.
No, thanks for having me. Amazing that I could commentate a great finals, honestly.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna stream at some point in the future when we have another tournament. Until then, take care, everyone, and good night.
All right. Good night.
Bye bye.